I'm going to show you how I took a piece of cardboard and turned it into a DIY pink Santa stocking. My name is Amanda with Amanda Panda Projects, and today I've got our very first project that we made with a napkin from the big pack of Craftkins, which is my napkin subscription. If you want to get info on how to get 18 adorable, cute napkins sent to you every 3 months, if you're on Facebook, you can comment Craftkins. Otherwise, check the link or the comments for the description, or not the link, the bio or the comments for the description if you're on somewhere like TikTok or YouTube. Okay, so I just took a large piece of quote unquote good cardboard, the good, hard, flat, straight kind. And I traced a stocking onto it. I just used a Google image that I found on Google. I Googled free stocking template, put it on cardstock, made a little template, and traced it onto the cardboard. And then the key to getting a good wood cutout out of cardboard is by using a box cutter. If you use scissors, it's really hard to get that nice straight cut. So use a really good sharp box cutter and then sand your edges to make it nice and smooth. And here we go. We have our cardboard stocking. So if you have a wood one, of course, I think they make them at Dollar Tree. You can get them at probably any craft store in the holidays. You can use one of those too, obvi. So I just painted it all white. I used acrylic paint. You could use chalk paint. And then I took my napkin, I laid it out flat, and then I cut out the shape of it. You want to leave a little bit of extra napkin on the outside, so make sure that it covers it completely. Then you separate it down to one ply, and then we are going to decoupage it to our cardboard. So I just use my Mod Podge. I just get it on there. A nice thin coat. You don't want it too thick with a napkin or it'll wrinkle up, but you want to make sure you have enough that it's going to stick on there. And then I just laid it down flat, and then I smooth it out as best I can. I like to use my baby wipes because it's always right next to me, but you can use saran wrap just to help smooth out all those wrinkles. The heat gun helped to smooth it out a little bit more. I do not stress the wrinkles, you guys. Embrace them. If you're super worried about it, you can always do the iron method. That gets a nice, super flat, napkin. But we don't care. We're embracing the wrinkles because we're going to grunge this up anyways. I sanded off the excess with my little gator there. And then, like I said, we are going to grunge this bad boy up. I use my Kiehl's dark wax, and I just go all along the outer edges. I go a little bit heavier on the corners and in the crevices, and I just kept on grunging until I felt like it was antiqued enough. And once I did, I just took some fur. This is it was sent to me by the company actually, but you can get this fur at Joann's Fabrics. It comes on a roll, and then it was too white. It was bam, white. So I dirtied up the fur a little bit with my dark wax as well. You could probably coffee stain it. I think I actually have done that in the past, but the dark wax worked fine. All right, and then I just glued this there to the top of my stocking. My stocking was a little bit thicker than my fur, so I kind of just spread the fur out to make it fit the entire width of the top of that stocking. Once it was all kind of spread out, it looked fine. I didn't want to have to do 2 rows or cut it to do a row and a half. All right, I'm just cutting a few pieces of fabric here to make a couple little cute patches for my stocking. I'm going to add a little bit of Excelsior to the tip of my little booty here and the heel of my little booty. I just thought that little gave it a little something, Glued down my patches. I used a pink polka dot fabric as well as a homespun green because it matched the napkin just perfectly, along with some coffee stained muslin. So I glued that down. I think I did 4 pieces total to make 2 patches. All right, and now for our bow. Of course, we need a bow. So I'm just ripping up my fabric here. Again, I'm using some of the same fabric that I used for those little patches. I also used a pink gingham that I had. I just thought these went together so well, and it just looked really good with the napkin. And then I'm going to use my Bodabra. You don't have to use a Bodabra to make a bow, and alternatively, you can obviously use some ribbon instead of fabric if you wanted to. But I just layer them up here in the Bodabra. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just layer them as I go. I do need to do a training on how to make a bow with the Bodabra. I definitely want to do one at least in the crafter party. I don't know about the main page, but quite a few people have asked me how to exactly to use it, and it's really simple. It really is. And you can make a bow without it. It just makes it easier to have it. All right, so once I had it all layered up, I just took it and I tied it off with my twine, and then the magic happens when you fluff it. You gotta fluff it up a little bit there, spread out the loops, make it a little bit even. Once it's good, you just go ahead and glue it down there to the bottom part of the fur of the stocking. And then I added a little bit of Excelsior into the bow just to kind of jazz it up and make it a little bit fuller, give it a little bit more interest. And then I glue down to a little button, and then I wanted to give it a little hang tag. I ran out of my coffee stained ones, so I just dirtied this one up with some of the dark wax. I added a large rusty jingle bell and just tied a little bow at the top of that. And then for my tag, you could use stamps. I was going to use stamps, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to write on it. I'm going to take my hand at writing on it. So I just took a fine tip marker and I wrote the word believe, because you know there's Santa on the stocking. So I just thought believe worked perfectly. I just do like really tall, kind of like farmhousey style letters, I guess. I only say farmhousey style because that's the name of the font on Design Space. It looks kind of like that, kind of. I use the term farmhouse loosely. And I glued it with my bell and a little bow to the top, or not a bow, the little bell and the tag to the top. I added a twine hanger for my stocking so it can be hung by the chimney with care. And there we go. Here she is, all done. I'm literally obsessed. I think this is the cutest stocking ever. I'm loving the pink for Halloween. Tell me in the comments, how do you feel about pink for Halloween? Are you loving it or are you hating it? Because I am absolutely loving it. So make sure that you share this video out there. I would love to know if you're going to make this, and if you want to get on the Craftkins, leave me a message.